you're identifying with it, or you see how absurd, how far your addiction takes you, and how you justify, well, that wasn't drinking. Yeah. That wasn't the crack. It was just, it was a bad night. Mercury was in retrograde. It wasn't the crystal meth.
What did you have for breakfast today? Cocaine? Is that it?
Yeah, right. I remember there's a particular a group of guys who are big fans of role models, and they're about 17, 18 years old. And ever since the movie came out, and I remember in the beginning, right after the movie came out, this valet guy came up to me and he said, "What'd you have for breakfast?" And I went, "I beg your pardon? What'd you have for breakfast?" And I went, "Cocaine." "What'd you have for lunch?" "Cocaine." But I didn't get it at first. Now I know exactly what they're talking about.
Because there's so many of those surprises. You think you meet this nice, sweet person that you put in a box like you do anyone else. Like, oh, look at this nice little old lady. And then she lays out stories and you're like, I could have never partied with her. Right. She's frightening.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
So it really breaks down so many.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I think that was a big, going into recovery at about 30, 31. And I got sober with a bunch of 45-year-old straight guys who had been cocaine addicts, and I related to them so much. I used to go to this little Alano house in Chicago, and we had so much fun. Every day at noon I would go to a noon meeting and listen to these guys.
Well, you get that humility of knowing that you're not as special as you thought you were.
Yes, exactly.
So you're like, that story is just like mine. Shit.
Or mine, I always used to say when I had to tell my story, is that had I known I would be telling the story over and over again, I would have made it a lot better. It was so boring. I'd be like, I had 6 Miller Lights last night, and I threw up.